This is Paris's ghost town. It's the roaring noise of the huge aircraft taking off over this small village that pushed nearly everyone out. Most of the houses are now abandoned, graffiti covering the walls, wallpaper hanging off and vegetation invading the ruins. It all started in the 1970s with the building of Paris's Roissy-Charles de Gaulle Airport, the largest in Europe then. The first runway was right in line with Gozonville-Vieux-Pays, a typical French village victim of modernity. Many years ago, Aéroport de Paris was forced to buy the houses of those who wished to leave, and the population dropped from 1,000 souls to just 300. But one man is still hoping to bring back some life into the place. 60-year-old Philippe Vieillard was one of those who decided to stay, despite the constant noise over his head. He has since been fighting the desertion to bring back people.
Since 1973, we have been asking for the bricks to be taken down from the houses so that the village, which is not a ghost town, can get a new lease of life with all the houses being used.
Vieillard said that over the past 40 years, many ideas were put on the table in order to attract people. Several projects to save the town looked at dedicating the village to books, artisan work, and even a more controversial idea of a place for people with hearing impairment.
There are still 300 or maybe 350 residents here.
Today, with 350 villages, a slight increase, local residents have learned to live with it. The noise is just something they have gotten used to.
You do get used to it. What can you do? And I sleep well at night. I can even sleep with the windows open and I won't hear the planes. If I'm awake, I hear them, but it's not the planes that wake me up. Others say the plane wake them up. The sounding of the cockerel wakes them up. Some people are just bothered by everything.
And with the pressure of the housing market around the French capital, Vieillard hopes his fight won't be in vain and that the ghosts will soon leave as well. Now to the airport in Libya, where hundreds of civilians crowded Misrata airport last week. This is one of the few working airfields in the North African country's western region. Passengers were rerouted to Misrata airport after the capital Tripoli's only functioning Mitiga airport was shut down on September the 12th after rockets were fired in its direction. Misrata airport's resources and staff are struggling to handle the resulting influx of thousands of passengers.
The rerouting of flights from Mitiga Airport in Tripoli to Misrata International Airport has rendered Misrata Airport incapable of handling the number of flights, which have reached between 30 and 40 departures and arrivals per day, with around 6,000 passengers. Misrata Airport is not capable of handling these numbers due to the small size of its halls.
Mitiga Airport was shut down 5 days after flights had resumed following fighting among rival armed groups.
The Benin Airport, located in the middle of Benin City, the Edo State capital, is owned and operated by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The airport, which was constructed in 1956, has been upgraded at different times, with the latest being the remodeling of the building and the resurfacing of the runway in 2015. A peek into what goes on here starts from the security manning the entrance into the airport, inside the premises, and then to the ticketing lounge. And there is a huge crowd as travelers wait eagerly for their flights.
The process here is fast, so we're not facing any challenge with any delays. The only thing that I would like to improve is the AC, because honestly we are sweating here. The heat is too much. So I would like in Benin Airport and also in all the airports, because this is a major problem we are facing everywhere. Even the international airport in Abuja are facing the same problem.
After being checked by airport officials, travelers make their way to the boarding area.
No. So, there's what they call continuity. But that's just...
Just like the exterior, the interior of the airport is undergoing a facelift, with more modern facilities being installed for efficient service delivery. While some of the passengers will frequently use the airport to upload the services, others insist the facility needs serious attention to meet acceptable standards.
What people are expecting is the machinery is working, like the screening machine, where they have the lift, the walkway. That's the equipment, not just painting of the building. Like you can see, even the chairs are all obsolete and in dilapidated condition. And then also, I think the services also needs to be improved. Yeah, in terms of punctuality of the aircraft, because people normally take, flight because of time and safety. And like now, we are supposed to have boarded by 10 o'clock, and it's almost 11, and we are still waiting for the plane. Nobody knows when we are going to, board the plane. So they are still, and then also in terms of the lavatory, it's an eyesore. I think they need to remove all their WCs, all the tiles and all that, rebuild it, because sanitation is very, very important. Most of the laboratories are not anything to write home about.
Challenges we're having in the local airport these days, because there's sometimes when you book a flight, before you get to the airport, you see they sent you a message of cancellation and all that. So they are not really sincere about their timing. You understand? Because when you talk about the international community, in terms of local and international, when you book a flight, when you get to the airport, the timing, maybe when they even want to maybe have a delay, the timing will be maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. But like Nigeria here, their timing maybe after 2 hours, 3 hours, before you know, they will tell you that flight has been cancelled for that day. So those are the challenges we're really having in Nigeria airport.
When some of the announcers make their announcement, passengers don't usually hear them. We don't know whether they want to change their asset, and it's not too good enough. The clarity of their voice and the pronunciation of the words in their information should be clear enough to us. That's most airport users will complain. Some people say, what are they saying? What are they saying? Where are they calling? Where are they announcing?
Although the management of the airport declined to speak on camera, it however gave details of the recent upgrades. The terminal building remodeled in the first quarter of 2013. Runway resurfaced in 2015. And it also indicated that traffic is on the increase at the airport. The resurfaced runway is 2.5 kilometers long and 0.45 kilometers wide, while the apron capacity is 160 by 70 meters, accommodating 3 Boeing 737 at a time. Work was also said to have been carried out to improve the lighting of the runway. Apart from the upgrade and improvement in services over the years, one major problem of the Benin Airport facility is the absent perimeter fencing. But that might soon change, going by the words of the Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, during his recent visit to the Benin Airport. He said the federal government and the Edo State government have concluded plans to partner and expand the airport to an international cargo one.
This is our curtain call on the program. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Bukola Joe Kitumbi.